Hi guys, my name is Jacob Elwood and I'm the Senior Creative at Suitcase Magazine, which is a global travel platform both in digital and print. I studied the National Diploma in Art and Design at Truro and Penrith College. That really kind of set the foundations for what my career was going to become. I didn't really realise it at the time, but your career kind of starts at higher education. It's the first time that you kind of pick what you want to study. And within that you kind of really have a force behind you to kind of create something special. What I found really amazing about the National Diploma is that from day one you are literally surrounded by creativity, and it's the exact same thing what's actually in everyday life in your professional career. Because there's such a number of different types of courses that fits into art and design, be it illustration, graphic design, fine art, 3D modelling, textiles, photography, all of those have pretty much encompassed my career so far. I'm a designer first and foremost, but that isn't all I do. I've been an art director. I've had to come up with illustrations for iconography. I've worked with fashion designers, so they had a background in textiles. I've worked with numerous of photographers and also do photography myself. And so without having a base value understanding of this, it'd be really hard kind of going into this and just thinking under one vantage point. Whereas I really feel kind of Truro College allowed you to open up your perspective and kind of see ideas from different angles. It's always very common, you see some people in their life and they just see things from one certain angle. Whereas if you have the opportunity to look at it from different vantage points, that's when you're truly going to get the best bit of your design work out there. And also when you're working with other people, say you're not going to be able to do everything yourself, you've got to be able to have a good understanding to collaborate with these people really easily. And so I definitely felt like Truro College kind of really set the foundation for that, and it was super useful. The other aspect of Truro College that I felt was really useful and kind of helped me in my career was changing my mindset between lecturer and student. And by that I mean I'm a designer, but I have a creative director, and that person is there to guide me into getting the best out of me, making sure that I'm on track, making sure that I'm doing the best work that I can possibly do. And that is the exact same relationship as what you should have as a student to your lecturer. It's a real friendly kind of homing in on your skill relationship, but there is an authority there. And I think kind of having that understanding of it really kind of helps you when you go into industry, because it's never going to be, right, you're a professional now, do what you want. You're always going to have a client there or kind of a way of thinking if you're going to go down the same route as me. And I think having a lecturer there and kind of seeing them as your creative director really kind of helps you learn that mindset of going like, right, we're in this together, etc. This is my idea, but how can I elevate it to the next big idea? And so that's what I found super useful at Truro College. So what I'm going to kind of do now is go through my portfolio with you, talk through it and kind of show what I've been doing since I've left college, and hopefully from that you can see what I've been talking about and how it relates to the start of my career back at Truro and Penrith College. So I guess first and foremost, the main bulk of what I do is the actual print magazine for Suitcase. It's a quarterly print publication, about 160 pages per magazine, and I've done about 13 issues for them now. It's a really great project because I get to work with numerous amount of different creatives on it, be that photographers, illustrators, still life photographers as well, set designers, fashion stylists. It's kind of got a huge team behind it, and kind of getting to piece all of their work together is really nice, and kind of having like having your own footprint across the whole thing. So 100mm what to pack and the carry-on are all our still life shoots, and that's where I kind of take on a more art directing slash production kind of role. So I do the design for these as well, but I work with a real strong team of creatives, a still life photographer, a fashion stylist, and a set designer. That's the main thing. We used to shoot with models as well, and so then I would work with makeup artists. So this isn't really design, this is my photography. This is the other avenue of creativity I do for Suitcase, and I'm very lucky. It's taken me all around the world. I've got to kayak around 6,000 islands in Sweden and wild camped on them. Been through the bush of Botswana and got to see amazing wildlife and hang out with the Bushmen, the tribe out there. And I've also got to stay in one of the #1 eco-friendly resorts in Mauritius and got to taste their new kind of from farm to fork menu, and just then chilled on the beaches of Cowcan. So this is my portfolio of images, what I really enjoy, and kind of allows me to still stay creative, but whilst not just in a design perspective, and kind of when I'm working with other photographers, have a lot of understanding what they're about. And with that, I guess it's always evolving. And so I never even initially, when I was doing my ND, I was never really initially setting out to become a designer. Thankfully, I had an absolute legend of a tutor, Joe, who kind of, although I was focusing more on illustration at the time, kind of really noticed that although I was doing illustration, it'd be merging a lot more in the conceptual idea with like between fine art and design. And there will always be kind of a design element there. How can I market to this? And so then it was kind of actually looking at the bigger picture and being like, using them as mediums. I always think of these as mediums. Like, part of my job is I get given a problem, and my job is then to solve that problem. And once you kind of solve that problem, it's then working out what's the best medium I can produce this on. So be that photography, design, illustration, contacting a textiles artist and working with them. Maybe it's modeling. The best way to show this idea that we come up with is some form of a 3D model, a sculpture, or pottery even. Like, there's so many different mediums out there that have the right answer. And I think with it, what I really enjoy and what doing the national diploma has taught me is that you're at the forefront, is that you are being given the ability to have an understanding of all these different avenues, and your job is then to work out, okay, this is my idea, this is how I wish to solve it, but what's the best medium that I can use? I'm kind of really breaking that in. And so I'm super thankful for the National Diploma for giving me that kind of mindset and outlook on how work all comes together. But definitely at the moment, I kind of left the illustration aside and was focusing on design. And then from design, just working with so much with photographers, it kind of picked up the interest in photography. I had lessons in it before in the dark room, learning film photography was doing my ND. And so then I kind of picked up the camera again, and it's allowed me to travel around the world. So I guess it's always just saying yes in a way. And kind of, there's so much called winging it, fake it till you make it, but also kind of learn it whilst you do it, and kind of just have a look at a lot of different avenues, a lot of different ways of doing things, a lot of different viewpoints on an answer. There's never a right way. It's a very subjective kind of industry, and within that, I think just have fun, and so that's my work. So as you can see, my career hasn't really been as simple as saying that I'm a graphic designer. My role has taken on numerous of different aspects of creativity. What I really feel, without having that national diploma at Truro and Penrith College, I wouldn't have been able to do, because I think a large part of it comes from respect and understanding. And without kind of learning those aspects, or even touching upon the base value of those aspects, then it's super hard to kind of realise how you can take an idea from this to then this. And I think that comes from collaboration, understanding, and just wanting to kind of get the best out of everyone on the team. So that's kind of been my process and where I've been, what I've done, and thank you so much to Truro and Penrith College.